Volume 4 came out in 1972. The artwork is kind of weird. It shows a picture of Ozzy in yellow doing the whole Nixon thing with the peace symbol, and they have like Black Sabbath and then Volume 4 and like vertical and horizontal. It's kind of weird. So this album was also originally supposed to be called Snowblind, which is the name of one of the tracks, because at this time they were not only into drugs, but they were into cocaine.
I do cocaine! I do cocaine! I do cocaine!
And they moved to LA and stuff to do this album. They kept getting distracted and fucked around a lot. Everyone was messed up on drugs at this point. And because they were so obsessed with cocaine, they wanted to name the album Snowblind. And on the song Snowblind, Ozzy would scream, "Cocaine!
I do cocaine!"
But the producers did not want anything to do with that, so they said, no, you're changing the album name to Volume 4 and you're not gonna scream cocaine.
I do cocaine!
Yes, I know.
There was a lot of other problems going on at this time as well, like how when Bill Ward passed out from drinking, they painted his whole naked body in gold paint, and it blocked all of his pores and it caused him to have a seizure. Bill Ward also had a really difficult time recording the song Cornucopia for its crazy drum fills. And because the band was getting so annoyed with him, he thought that they were going to fire him for him messing up a lot, and they even had to keep changing studios and environments to try to get him to get Cornucopia right. Now, this album was somewhat of a hit because it has some hit songs in there, but I will admit that this album is a little bit disjointed. It's not really sure what it wants to be. It's not like a heavier album or anything. It's like, here's some epic tracks, and then here's some lighter tracks, here's some heavier tracks, here's some more hit tracks. It's almost like a fusion of the first 3 albums and what would they do next, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and it's all mix, mash, mess. But it still has a lot of really great moments and some weaker moments, and even to this day it kind of has a lukewarm response from fans. So let's move on to the first track, a very, very, very good song that took me a little bit to get into. This song is not too much loved by a lot of fans, but I really, really enjoyed this one, this epic track that's kind of 2 songs. The first one is Wheels of Confusion, and the second half is The Straightener. I look at it as all as one big song that's really awesome, and it goes to this awesome instrumental sequence at the end. But that's all The Straightener really is a big instrumental sequence that's really great and all over the place and heavy. Now the intro to the Wheels of Confusion is very hippie-like and kind of stoner sounding. Then when we get to the song, it's really catchy and really cool to listen to. A very great rocking song that has some great riffs here and there and stuff. And like I said, The Straightener in the middle section of Wheels of Confusion is really epic and cool. This is not only one of the best songs off the album, this is one of my absolute favorite Black Sabbath songs. Fans need to really give this one another chance. It's a tiny bit disjointed with the Straightener section, but overall it's a really great, heavy rockin', awesome song. So the Wheels of Confusion and Straightener gets a 5 out of 5. Now one of my least favorite songs to the album, Tomorrow's Dreams. It's kind of just a standard Black Sabbath song. It sounds very heavy and murky, but it's just very generic sounding. Not a big fan of it. Not too great. 3.5 out of 5. It's pretty okay. Then we get to an interesting song known as Changes, which I believe is about when Bill Ward's girlfriend left him. He was very depressed, and I don't think it made it better, the fact that the band would just fuck with him all the time, so I feel kind of bad for Bill Ward. This song is very, very depressing. It reminds me of an Elton John ballad. It has a really great piano part to it. I believe it's Bill Ward, because he is the one that plays the piano in the band, I believe, but it could be another member for all I know. The song is very, very depressing. At first it sounds really beautiful, but just the vocal melodies and the lyrics really bring the song down. And Ozzy's vocal performance on the song is really, really great and beautiful. So Changes, it's very, very weird and different, and it doesn't really mix well with the rest of the songs, but it's a really great song for what it is. So Changes is a 5 out of 5. Then we get to FX, which is a bunch of noises, I believe. I heard this somewhere, and it could be wrong, that they were so fucked up on like coke that I think some of the band members were just like messing with his guitar naked or something and just hitting stuff on it. Really bizarre song. It is a 2 out of 5. At least it's a little bit funny and it's not too long. It's like about 40 seconds or so. It's not painful to listen to. It's definitely very, very stupid and bad, but it doesn't drag on too long. It's about like 40 seconds or so. So 2 out of 5. Then we get to 2 incredible songs from this album. These are the hit songs that also don't really meld well with the rest of the album either. It's kind of disjointed in its structure. You get to Supernaut, which is a heavy as hell, awesome, almost thrashy song. The riff is very, very classic and heavy and rocking the entire time. And I love Ozzy's vocal melodies on this song. Every part of it's great, and the lyrics are really cool too. I'm not absolutely sure what this one's about, but that title, Supernaut, is really badass. Supernaut, one of the best songs of the album. Although, despite, I believe, popular belief, I believe people like this one more than the next track, but I do slightly like the next track more. So we get to Snowblind. I wouldn't say it has a better riff, but the melodies in this song, especially the vocal melodies, are really great. I wish they kept the part where Ozzy kept screaming cocaine.
Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown! I do cocaine! I do cocaine! I seriously do a lot of cocaine.
But, you know, it's still an incredible song. The riff is nice. I think it's a little more slow-paced than Supernaut was, which that was more of like an arena rocker song. This one's more of a somewhat serious song. You know, it's all about their love for cocaine.
His name is Dr. Roxo. He's the rock and roll clown. He does cocaine. And I'm afraid that's all we know.
Definitely better than Sweet Leaf in my opinion. The riffs and melodies, everything is really great. And the soloing from Iommi is pretty great throughout this entire album, so 5 out of 5 as well. Then we get to Cornucopia. Now this song and the last song on the album, Under the Sun, sound very similar, the intro-wise. What's funny is the intro to Under the Sun has a more intricate drum thing going on, and the rest of the song of Cornucopia has way more intricate drumming than the rest of Under the Sun. So this is the song Bill Ward had a hard time playing, and I originally thought maybe the information I read was mixed up, that maybe it was Under the Sun he had a hard time playing. Then when the song gets into it, the fucking drumming is really crazy, it changes all the time, and the cymbal smashing goes through the roof awesome. The intro is so damn cool, it's heavy and dark as hell. This and Under the Sun would easily, or even Tomorrow's Dream would easily belong in like the earlier albums, and then stuff like Supernaut, Snowblind and stuff would kind of belong in the next era of Black Sabbath. So for the most part, this album's kind of like a middle-of-the-road album, really. And the riffs are very, very great, and I love Ozzy's vocals and singing on this one. It's really, really awesome. I don't remember what it's about, but the cymbal smashing gets a tiny bit irritating because it's hard to hear the riffs and the melodies with Bill Ward's insane cymbal smashing. But for the most part, very, very, very good song. It's well structured, but it does feel a tiny bit disjointed at the end. So Cornucopia is a 4.75. Then we get to a really nice instrumental known as Laguna Sunrise. This one, I believe I learned it on a guitar once a long time ago, I can't remember it. It's a really great acoustic guitar piece that Tony Iommi does with 2 different guitar tracks that interweb with each other with some cool either keyboard parts or violin parts over the top of it. It's really beautiful, and I really enjoy this one. This is a 4.5 for me. Then we get to St. Vitus' Dance. I don't like the intro riff. It's really, really cheesy, but I love the normal parts of the song, the verse, the melody, the lyrics, everything is really, really great, and I highly enjoy every part of this, but all except that intro, which they keep playing every once in a while. It sounds really, really cheesy. 4 to 5. I still really like almost the entire rest of the song, though I would have recommended maybe extending the song. It's kind of short, and maybe cut off that intro, or do something a little less annoying. Then we get to my absolute favorite song off this album, which is going to shock a lot of people. They're going to be like, what, you didn't pick Snowblind, or you didn't pick Supernaut, or even fucking Wheels of Confusion? No, Under the Sun is heavy as hell. This song would have perfectly fit on Master of Reality. The intro is heavy as hell. The drum parts are really awesome. Bill Ward does this really awesome intricate drum part in between each riff section of the intro, and then the song kicks into this heavy as hell riff, and you can hear the bass going absolutely batshit on this song. Now the drumming is just somewhat generic groove throughout the whole thing, but the heaviness of the song is really great, and Ozzy's vocal delivery is incredible. And I forgot to mention that the entire band, every member sounds pretty good in this album. You know, it's about be yourself and don't take any religion side or whatever, no Satanism, no Catholicism or anything like that. And I really love the first line of the song, or like the first 2 lines. I don't want no black magician telling me to cast my soul out. I love that line especially, it's really cool. And the song just keeps getting more and more awesome as it goes on. The middle section is great, the soloing is awesome. There's a lot of great different riffs here and there. It's a really cool song and my absolute favorite from the album. Great song, really check it out. It's very underappreciated. 5 out of 5. I really like the album, but it feels like a bunch of different eras confused with itself. So if it was more the direction of Supernaut and Snowblind, or maybe even Wheels Confusion, those three, and then the other three, which are Tomorrow's Dream, Cornucopia, and Under the Sun, are completely different eras of Sabbath for me. So I'd say maybe if they picked one of those ideas, it would have been better. But not only do they have these two different eras mixing together, but they kind of throw some random curveballs in there, like Changes, or St. Vitus' Dance, or Laguna Sunrise, or the random as hell FX. So this album has a lot of variety to it. So if you're more into the variety of like two different eras melding, you will love this album. But overall, very, very good, solid Black Sabbath album. I'm going to give Volume 4, which I think personally would have been way better if they called the album Snowblind. And for some reason, it always reminds me of that really, really, really shitty Anthrax album, Volume 8, The Threat Is Real.